Hi everyone, it's me, Charles Norman, Sports Solutions LLC. We are the creators of AthleticSOS. And so our goal at Sports Solution is to help young athletes, especially high school athletes right now, but we're going to put some new stuff out to leverage their athletic ability to lead a remarkable life. And so we'll talk more about that as we move forward. Now this one, we're going to talk about athletic scholarships, unsigned seniors in 2024, and quite frankly, in my opinion, this thing is a mess. It really is kind of a lot going on. And if you don't understand it, you can find yourself on the outside looking in. So let's talk about a couple of things. So let's go right now into what I would tell a high school senior 2024. You did not get an athletic scholarship offer on the first round in the early signing period. And it could be for a variety of reasons. We get a lot of players that got injured, and so they didn't get a chance to play in their season. And so they had some kind of offers, or some people looking at them, maybe not offers, but people looking at them, and it kind of tailed off. Some kids played varsity for the first time, got a lot of playing time, really grew a lot, really are really good quality players, believe they can play at the next level, but they don't have the stats and they don't have the longevity at the varsity level to kind of get them there. There are some kids that actually played really, really well, have had a great career in high school, and had a couple of really nice schools looking at them, but they didn't call them at the last minute. They didn't get signed. They thought they had it set up. And we get a lot of parents like that just kind of felt like it was there. They thought they had everything under control. And for some reason, that school passed on them. And usually it's because maybe you were in the top 3, maybe the top 5 of the kids they were looking at, but they got one of the other kids ahead of you in that position, and so they didn't make the offer to you. And really all you have to do is ask the school, where am I on your depth list for that particular position for your school in this upcoming year? And they'll tell you, but they won't volunteer the information. I think that's the big problem for a lot of parents. And then we simply have some kids that have the ability to play at the next level, but it's D1 or bust. I'm not going to do it if it's not D1. They just have that in their head and they don't want anything to do with it. And then finally, we have the parent that is thinking the schools that want them to come play, that's not the school my kid needs to go to, because my kid is a higher academic kid and they need to go to this school, not that school. And this school is not offering them an opportunity to play, but we're not going to have that. And sometimes it's just ego from the family's point of view. All their family did X, so this kid's going to do X. And unless they get a scholarship there, you can forget about it. And even if they did get the scholarship, they might not be allowed to play the full 4 years. So all these things are going on at the same time. So what I'm going to do is encourage you, because I think the world's changed quite a bit. And I think it's really important that if you have a skill set, something that sets you apart from everyone else, you should take advantage of it. So let's figure out what we would tell you to do from the point of view of AthleticSOS. So in AthleticSOS, what you would do is you take your academic information, your GPA, your SAT, ACT scores. Yes, I know you don't need them to play at the NCAA right now, but take it anyway. If you have those scores, let's use them. And then you're going to find the sport you play, and then you're going to find the level you think you participate. You're going to enter that into our database, and then we're going to give you a list of schools that you academically qualify to attend that have your sport at the level you can participate and offer athletic scholarships for that sport. And so now you've got this list to start with, and you're going to kind of start over. You're going to still, if you had some schools looking at you before, the other thing that tells you is if you had a school looking at you and they were seriously looking at you, right? They're calling you guys, have some back and forth going on, and they just didn't select you. They're telling you, we see you at this level, but we don't have a position for you anymore. And that's all they're telling you. So you can look and say, okay, this is where they were seriously interested in me. Let me find some other schools. Some other schools in that conference might be a great start. There are some schools across the country at that level would also be a great start for you. You can look at their schedule for the last few years, so you can see what schools that they play against, especially in the preseason, because they usually kind of try to go up if they think they're going to win. See if they were in the top half finishing of their conference. If they're in the top half or in their bottom half, because sometimes that's telling you the story. And that story could be, hey, we go after kids that maybe would be a level down, but we're not really that interested in trying to win this thing. We just like to field a team every year. So all these things are going on. You have to have them in the back of your head. And you got to figure out, where do you want to be? Because that's what we're all about. Where do you want to be? What school fits you? And then you're going to take that, and now we're going to do our follow-up. So here's the super secret sauce that we use for AthleticSOS. First is, if you can get your high school coach to vouch for you, they believe you can play at that level and you've got the talent. Once you find the schools in our system, let your coach know the contact information and have them do the first outreach for you. And the part of that outreach inside of AthleticSOS is they can send your profile to them. Inside that profile, it's all the information about you, your height, your weight, your major, all that kind of stuff. And this high school coach believes you can play at that level, that coach may give you another look. The second thing you want to do is, as soon as you go and you find the schools that you want, you're going to go in there. Every single school, I think, has this now. There's going to be a place for interested athletes to fill out a questionnaire online. You want to fill that questionnaire out. Yes, we're going to do the AthleticSOS thing. We're going to have your coach reach out for you, but you want to get it started. And so you're going to fill out that questionnaire, and here's how we work it. You fill out the questionnaire. You wait a few days, maybe 3 days, maybe 5 days, and eventually the athlete, the high school athlete themselves, not the parents, not a sister or brother, not some other person. The athlete's going to call and they're going to say, hey, coach, whatever the name of that coach of that college is, I filled out the online questionnaire and I'm just wondering, do you need anything else from me? I'm really interested in your school. And maybe you can say, here's why. Sometimes they don't pick up. You're leaving a message. If they don't get back to you after that, call one more time and see. And then if they don't get anything back after that, go ahead and move on and find another school. And you're going to keep doing this. The next thing you want to do is you want to get into, and this happens to a lot of the players, especially if you're in football, you got to find a combine that's accepting seniors. There's a lot of the top combines that don't take seniors that are they're trying to get the juniors in the springtime, but you're a senior and you're trying to get something done between January and June before you graduate, right? So you got to find some events that are going to let you come out, and now you need to let that coach know where you're going to be. AthleticSOS allows you to do that. You can send out your profile and it has your upcoming events in there. So all of these things are things that we're trying to get ready to go to, right? And so the same thing for you if you play basketball. Certain sports, the travel club programs, if you're part of a travel club program, they don't let their seniors play in the spring. They're trying to get the next group ready. And those parents are ready to take your spot, especially if you started or you were the key player. They want that spot now. And so in order to keep those parents paying for the upcoming year, you can't be blocking them moving into in the spring, and you're coming in and you're still starting, and the college coaches are coming to see those other kids to see who's going to be ready. So in the summer, they can make plans to come out and see them fully. But, you know, you get that quick 2-3 week spring break tournaments that people go to. They want to see who's up and coming, and that's not going to work if you're in the way. So they don't want you in the way. It's the best way to put it. So you got to find some unsigned senior events, something that you can go to so you can have those coaches come in. You're going to get your film together, right? All of your video stuff together, your full game and your highlight game. And you're going to get all this stuff ready. You can stick it inside of AthleticSOS. You can send it if the coach doesn't know what AthleticSOS is, or you just haven't used it. You don't have to use AthleticSOS. We're recommending it. We don't charge for AthleticSOS, so I don't know why you would not use it. And you can package all that stuff out and send it out. So that is the kind of the plan. You're going to go in emergency mode now. You're going to try to get set up so that you can get your information in front of the schools that you're academically qualified to go to. That's so huge, and a lot of families miss out on that. And make sure you're in the eligibility centers. Get into the eligibility centers for the NCAA and for the NAIA. You need to be in both. That is a sign of seriousness. So many kids forget to do that, and sometimes that's why that school that was interested in you never followed up. They don't think you're serious. You're not taking care of business. Go talk to your counselors. You need them to move your transcripts up there so that these college coaches can see that you're ready to go, and they will do it for you. It doesn't cost you any money to have that stuff done. You just need to let the people know that that's what you want to do. That's part of your maturity as an athlete as you want to move forward. Now, so that's our plan, right? That's our game plan to move forward and try to get something done. And don't overlook junior colleges or community colleges, whatever they're called in these different areas, because that could be your gateway. I don't care what anybody says to me. If you have skill set and you need to get somewhere, everybody doesn't go down the straight path. Everybody doesn't get to go from A to B to C the way they thought they were. Sometimes you got to make a couple of detours. And no matter what happens, how you react to that is going to depend on whether or not you're going to be successful moving forward. Now, why do I say that this thing's a little bit messed up here, that things aren't going quite the way? So a couple of things have happened, and I keep telling you guys, from 2020 moving forward, there is that demarcation. Everything that happened prior to 2020, forget about it. Everything has accelerated out here. So you've got the transfer portal. Really came in 2018, but really 2020, 2021 is when they allowed football and basketball players to start transferring. Notice how they always get themselves set up to be prepared for the money-making sports. All the other sports, they didn't really have that much concern about. And I'm not blaming the NCAA. They're going to do what they're going to do. Then you had the NIL, name, image, and likeness, come up. And so now this is causing a lot of rift in the college sports world. And so some schools are getting rid of some sports because they're going to have to gear up and be able to manage these NIL programs. Kids are going to come to that school expecting to be able to, if they're a star on the team, to be able to take that and make some money off of it. So that is going on. So those things are just happened. And then you've got the Affirmative Action Supreme Court ruling, where for schools, for colleges, getting you into that school cannot be affirmative race-based or whatever is in affirmative action, right? That's gone. And so all of these groups that fought for all these things, the SAT, ACT, that it's not required anymore for a lot of the schools, people have fought for these things individually, and they've all come together almost all at the same time, and it's causing a lot of problems because the one thing we don't know now is, why did you not get into school, or why did you get into school? Nobody has any idea. The colleges can do whatever they want. Now, I will say for the SAT, ACT, I see a little pushback from the schools. They've been trying to do this for a while, and if you use AthleticSOS, we show you the schools that don't require the SAT and ACT as a criteria for getting into the school, and they're starting to have problems. They're getting some kids that aren't ready for college getting in because they want those athletes, and even the non-athletes are getting in. But they're having problems. They're not college ready. And so you want to show that you're college ready. So that's why I keep saying things have gotten really, really murky out here on how it's actually going to end up and who gets in, who doesn't get in. And so the world has changed. The world used to be about, what value brought. Not what value. I would say what your credentials were, right? If you have the credentials, if you've got the track record, and you went and you did what you're supposed to do, you've got the paperwork. Everyone has a job. From my generation, if you got your degree from college, you were good to go. And so that world is sort of tapering off. It's not completely gone. You still need to probably have those degrees and stuff like that. But we're moving into, what value do you bring to me? And so that's sort of a different little world there. It almost sounds the same, but it's not the same. What value you bring. So anyone that has to make a decision on you, they're saying, what are you bringing extra that the other person isn't? Because everybody's got the credentials now. So what are you bringing that is of value to me that's going to help me keep my job or help me move further or bring more money into our business? That's what they're asking for. I'm watching people in the tech field, and I've been in the tech field forever. A lot of people that are my age, they were in the tech field. They got their kids in the tech field. These people were making a ton of money, $150,000, $250,000. They're working for these great companies. They got all these perks. They're living a life, and all of a sudden, people are starting to get laid off. Now, I know there's some other industries coming up behind it, but because you're in the tech field, a lot of times you end up specializing, or you get into a world where you're working on their product. And so when you're working on someone else's product, at some point, they don't need you anymore, or they need to regroup. And so you get put out. And so a lot of these people are very smart people. They're getting other job offers, but it's taken a while to get them now. It's more and more people are getting laid off, and they're not getting offered anywhere near. They're getting offered $70,000 to $90,000. Now imagine you made $150,000, $200,000, and now you're getting $70,000 to $90,000. I know most people are saying, well, I'll take the $70,000 to $90,000. That sounds pretty good to me, but not if you were making the other money. It's very hard to readjust. Now I know most people are saying, well, I don't feel sorry for them. That's pretty good for me. I would take that and readjust my life. I get that. I get what you're saying, but it's going to trickle down to everything. And technology is moving so fast, it's going to replace a lot of people. If you're pushing paper, just because you have a degree, if you're human resources, if you're working in a place where you move stuff from here to here, but you're not actually doing anything as far as building something, you're not contributing directly to the bottom line, your job is going to be in trouble. And so for our college kids, as you move forward, and I know I've got off of the high school kids trying to get an athletic scholarship. I know I moved over a little bit. But the reason I'm saying this is because the reason you get selected has changed. What have you done? What is your track record? What can you show me that sets you apart? And so you need to put those things together. You need to show your workouts. Start doing some social media. Show your workouts. Show how hard you've worked. Talk about why you want to go to that school. Did you do any research on that school at all? Why do you want to go there? Do you have your major? Are they in an area you want to be in? Can you talk about that to a college coach and say, hey, I want to come here. I like your playing style. I recognize you guys are doing X, Y, Z. I like the conference you're in. I like the area of the country you're in. Can you walk into that room and go, I will be valuable to you. I get good grades. I'm a great student. If I need help, I'll come to you. All of those things. They're trying to make sure you're not going to cause them any trouble. That's the baseline. But what are you bringing to me? What's special about you? And if you can't figure out what that is, you need to sit down and figure that out, because that is the difference maker for you. Now, the bottom line is, to me, if you can play any level, I don't care if you started JC, NAIA, D3, NCAA, D2, NCAA, and D1 NCAA, you've got to do it. You really should do it, because it's going to give you so many perks on the campus. And so we'll talk about some of that as we move forward. And then here's the final thing that I wanted to kind of bring up for this, that really, I think this thing's a mess. And this is mostly for the NCAA. So in 2020 through 2023, they got rid of their rules because the schools were so messed up. You know, the pandemic had happened, so everything kind of got messed up. And so they said, well, we don't know what to tell kids. Some kids are working from, being taught from home. They can't go into the school. We don't know if we can make all these classes they're taking accredited. We don't know what to do, so it's open. No SAT, ACT, none of that stuff. If the schools want you, we don't even know if the schools are going to have it on campus. They didn't know how long this stuff was going to last or anything. So from 2020 through 2023, you basically got a free ride. If you could play, you got into those schools. And so in 2023, 2024, those kids, imagine this. You came in as a freshman in 2021, 2022. You came in 2023. How does that fare to you now that they have these rules for NCAA, especially for the D1? Now you have to have these certain number of classes. You have to have them done at a certain amount of time. How is that fair to those kids that didn't know what these new rules were going to be? So I tried to call and find out, hey, is there a waiver for these kids? Because they didn't know. They've done pretty good since then. You just made your new rules this school year. So how could they possibly be in position? That doesn't seem fair to me. Now, they could say, hey, you know what? You should have done it anyway. You should have, if you would have done what you were supposed to do previously, you probably still do qualify. And maybe that is true. But you didn't know that. And so I think I tried to call and find out what they're doing about this situation. And they started asking me, well, who's your kid? You know, give me your kid's information. So basically, they didn't want me doing a fishing expedition. So I think they've got something in place for you. Parents, you might want to push on this. I would go to my counselor at school and see if they can push for it, just in case I'm not meeting that D1. If you think you're a D1 athlete, I don't think it affects a little bit at the D2 level, but they give you time to make up too. So you need to find out what those rules are so that you can meet them, so you can give yourself the best opportunity possible, because you need to be able to tell that college coach, I qualify to attend this school. All right. Okay. So that's it, you guys. Best of luck to you in all your endeavors. Use AthleticSOS. Down below, I give you the code. I give you the instructions for how to use the code. It costs you absolutely nothing to use the software. I don't have any tricks. I don't sell your data to somebody else. I don't do any of that stuff. What I'm trying to do is get you guys to become ambassadors for the people that are coming behind you. And so that you go, hey, this is pretty good software. And then later on, I'm going to come up with some cool products, some services, some things like that. And then I'll reach out to you guys and say, hey, are you interested in this? And if you are, it helps us keep moving forward, right? Because you guys will buy stuff from us because of what we've done for you. That's the way we're going to work this. So I'm hoping this all makes sense to you guys. And if you do, keep moving forward in your athletic endeavors. It's going to change your life. Your network is going to be the most important thing that you ever do in your life from now on. The people that you have around you, the people that are in your corner, that are they doing stuff? And then from now on, it's not anything other than, what have you done? Show me what you've done. And that is going to be the future. Okay, guys, sun's coming up. It's freezing cold out here today. So I'm going to sign off now. Best of luck to you in all your endeavors, and we'll talk to you next week.